So in the last few weeks when it comes to Star Wars, we've gotten some pretty huge news, we've gotten some pretty huge leaks, reports, and even stuff straight from the mouth of Kathleen Kennedy, straight from the mouth of Jon Favreau, straight from the mouth of Adam Driver, and also other sequel trilogy actors that are telling us that the sequel trilogy characters are moving forward, that we will see them again very soon. Let's check it out. If you enjoy daily Star Wars news, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I try to post multiple times a day on this channel. Let's get into the video. So like I said, in the last couple of days and really in the last couple of months, we've gotten some pretty huge leaks, and also people like Kathleen Kennedy and Adam Driver and Jon Favreau just straight up coming out and telling us that things are moving forward with these events, with the sequel trilogy characters. And today is no different. Today we got even more leaks about who is going to be the main character of this sequel to the sequel trilogy. I don't know really what to call it yet because it really hasn't officially been announced, but the sequel to the sequel trilogy, whether that's going to be a TV show, we don't know. Talk about that a little bit later. We do have some rumors that the legacy of these characters will be carried over in a TV show on Disney Plus instead of a trilogy, but I'm leaning more towards it being a trilogy, and I'm hoping to God that it's a trilogy because I really do. Even though the sequel trilogy wasn't all that great, and obviously I had a lot of problems with the trilogy, I just really miss seeing Star Wars on the big screen, and I think a lot of people agree with me on that. It just feels different in the winter time. It feels different whenever it comes to December and there's no Star Wars movie coming out. It just kind of sucks. And even though the sequel trilogy, like I said, not my favorite Star Wars, I would want a sequel to the sequel trilogy to be in theaters on the big screen because I do have faith that they could repair the legacy of these old characters and also make some good movies going forward. Because like I said in my previous video, it's looking like Jon Favreau and or Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is a head creative director at Lucasfilm now, so he would have some sort of say when it comes to the sequel trilogy movies coming out. Definitely he would be able to green light or red light certain things that he really likes or certain things that he really doesn't like, and he could even sort of retcon certain things. Whenever I say a retcon is coming to the sequel trilogy, I don't mean that they're totally going to make these movies obsolete. I don't think that they're totally going to delete the Rey character. I don't think they're totally going to delete Ben Solo or anything like that. I just think they're going to make small changes here and there, kind of like they did with the sequel trilogy when it comes to the original trilogy. They made a lot of different changes. Palpatine came back, that's a huge retcon, but that doesn't mean that the original trilogy never happened. It's the same sort of thing. I don't think that they're going to make it to where the sequel trilogy never happened, but I definitely think some big retcons are coming, and the leaks point towards that as well. A huge part of these leaks, and I think my favorite part of these leaks, the biggest part of these leaks, is that Adam Driver as Kylo Ren / Ben Solo is coming back to life to play the main character going forward in the sequel trilogy saga. In whatever it's going to be, the trilogy or the show, it's going to be Adam Driver / Kylo Ren / Ben Solo's show. And we got this report right here, which would be an absolute disaster if this came true in my opinion. But J.J. Abrams rumored to be producing new Star Wars show, but does anyone want it? No, that's the answer. We don't want a J.J. Abrams produced Star Wars show. Please don't do that, please. And the reactions to this are the same way that I'm reacting. Bring back Ben Solo and don't let J.J. Abrams anywhere near Star Wars. I don't think he's gonna do this. I don't know. You can make up your own mind. That's just one of the rumors, another rumor that I want to throw out there. It could be a possibility that J.J. Abrams could be producing the next Star Wars show. I don't think so, and I really, really hope not, because I think that J.J. Abrams was the one that ruined Star Wars even more than Rian Johnson, even up there with Kathleen Kennedy. Obviously, she's the head of the whole thing, so more blame has to fall on her, but I think J.J. Abrams did so much more damage with The Rise of Skywalker to Star Wars than Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi, and I know that's kind of controversial, but that's just how I feel about the situation. But we've gotten more leaks recently about what Kylo Ren, what Ben Solo will be doing in the sequel to the sequel trilogy. And it even connects further to Jon Favreau. It even connects further to The Mandalorian. This stuff is crazy. So the leaks that I saw today revolving around Ben Solo is that we're actually going to see in The Mandalorian season 4, we're going to see Ben Solo on Luke Skywalker's side. I think that Luke Skywalker most likely will come back to help The Mandalorian and Bo-Katan and all of them retake Mandalore, and he will bring Ben Solo along with him and Grogu. That's going to be super cool. Also, some rumors that Gina Carano will be returning from Mandalorian season 4. Don't know if that's going to happen. I think that's kind of up to Gina at this point, but either way, having Luke Skywalker with Ben Solo, hopefully it's an Adam Driver Ben Solo. Maybe they de-age him a little bit, or maybe they don't have to. Maybe they can just dress him up like they did for the flashback scenes and make him look a little bit younger. But having Ben Solo along with Luke Skywalker and Grogu going help the Mandalorians retake Mandalore would be super cool. I think that's definitely going to happen. That's what the leaks are saying for The Mandalorian season 4. By the way, not season 3 that we're getting this next year, but season 4, what's probably going to come the year after, or maybe 2 years after. We don't really know yet for season 4. But also in The Mandalorian season 4, we're going to explore how Ben Solo or Kylo Ren created his lightsaber and stuff like that. That's going to be really cool as well if we really do get to see that. Maybe we'll see even more of how Ben Solo became Kylo Ren. I want to see Ben Solo explored a lot more. It would be kind of weird to explore how Ben Solo became Kylo Ren in the Mandalorian show, but maybe we could just see some hints here and there that it is happening. Maybe in battle, Ben Solo will hear Snoke's voice or something like that as they're retaking Mandalore. Just small hints here and there, kind of like they did in season 2, kind of hinting towards those bodies in the tube being Snoke and stuff like that. I think they could definitely tie some things in there. Once again, points more towards Jon Favreau handling, Kylo Ren or Ben Solo going forward in the sequel to the sequel trilogy content. All signs are pointing towards Jon Favreau being heavily involved in that series or in that trilogy. I think it's going to be good for the legacy of Star Wars. I think it's going to be good for the legacy of characters like Kylo Ren or Ben Solo or Rey Skywalker. I know people hate hearing the words Rey Skywalker, but we have to face it. That's what she's called in the Star Wars universe. It sucks. It's stupid. I understand, but it could kind of repair the legacy. If it could ever be repaired, I think it could be repaired by people like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who understand not only how to make good Star Wars, but they also understand where the sequel trilogy went wrong, where these characters went wrong, and stuff like that. And we also saw, just to confirm, all these leaks are most likely going to happen. Kathleen Kennedy only a few days ago came out recently and said the return of the sequel trilogy characters is going to happen. And also at the same time, we see Adam Driver coming out saying that he's not against returning to Star Wars. It's all coming together. It's all pointing towards this stuff ramping up very soon. I think we're going to see it in the next 2 or 3 years. We're going to see either the TV show that apparently J.J. Abrams was going to produce, which would really suck, but we're either going to see the TV show or we're going to see a new trilogy, the first movie of a new trilogy. I want it to be a trilogy, and if it's done by Jon Favreau and or Dave Filoni, I think it could be really good. Like I said, I think it could repair the legacy of the sequel trilogy characters, and honestly, most importantly of all, it could repair the legacy of Kathleen Kennedy if she lets the people who know how to make good Star Wars content run free with a sequel to the sequel trilogy or a TV show, whatever it's going to be. Let them run free. If you do get Jon Favreau or even someone like Robert Rodriguez, who's been studying under Jon Favreau, or Deborah Chow, if she's good enough to do it. I don't know the ins and outs of what Deborah Chow knows about Star Wars, but if she knows enough, let one of them run free and do this trilogy or do this TV show. Don't try to hinder them, and don't do this story by committee thing that you do with all these other creatives that you hire and force them off the project. Don't do that stuff. Just let them run free, let them create their content, and I think it's going to be really good if you do that, not only, like I said, for the future of Star Wars, but also repairing the past as well. Let me know what you guys think about all these leaks about Adam Driver or Kylo Ren or Ben Solo in The Mandalorian season 4, and also in the sequel to the sequel trilogy. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.